Violet reckons she now holds the world record for the most appearances in games, mostly because of making films about influence.
And here it is, Violet's performance captured into the actual gameplay of Normality Inc. Here she comes. It's brilliant. I mean, it really is obviously Violet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Normality Inc. is due out for release early next year. And now for some more of this week's games releases, reviewed by our expert panel. Take a classic old tabletop racing game, add some new tracks, a few new characters and a new construction kit, and you've got Micro Machines 96. Incidentally, one of the many games featuring our Violet. Will this sequel have you tearing up the tarmac or tearing out your hair? Here's Lisa.
This is the third in the series of the Micro Machines games, and it's still brilliant. It's got all the features of the first two, with an added bonus of being able to construct your own circuit. This is a construction part of the game, where you can make your own tracks. I'm going to add some hazards here, so if I come off the track, I'll bang into them. I'm placing these water tiles on the inside of the track, so if I fall down into them, there'll be a delay before I can get started again. You can store up to 10 tracks that you've made. This is one of the tracks I made myself. You can add different weather conditions, and I've added rain. You can also change the car's speed and acceleration, but it's still difficult to keep on the track. I haven't got Micro Machines or Micro Machines 2, so I'd definitely buy this. If you've got one of the earlier games, the only new thing is the construction kit.
It's not worth buying this game for the one extra feature.
I didn't like the original and I don't like this, which is probably because the gameplay is exactly the same.
And the scores for Micro Machines 96. The girls gave it an It's Still on Track 4, and the boys a Leave It in the Pits 3.
The third blood-soaked installment of the controversial Mortal Kombat series hits the SNES this week. Surprisingly enough, it's a one-on-one beat-em-up, featuring 14 characters, including a four-armed female and a robotic ninja. All the characters possess the obligatory arsenal of reality-defying moves and gory fatalities, and there are more hidden secret bits than you can shake a severed limb at. Does it breathe new life into an old format, or should Mortal Kombat finally be laid to rest? Here's Lee.
The gameplay is the same as the first two, although there are some new characters and special moves. Here I'm using Sub-Zero versus one of the new characters called Striker. One of Sub-Zero's new moves is to make ice shower from the sky. You can also run at your opponents. All the new characters have special moves, and even the old characters are being redrawn and added new moves. Here's a new Mercy move. It gives your opponent a slight amount of energy back, but who cares? Here's the Animality, but we can't show it at this time of day. Even though it's the third in the series, I still recommend people to buy it. They've tweaked it to near perfection.
They've definitely improved the look of it and the characters, but the gameplay is virtually the same.
I like the new characters and the animality moves, but I hope this is the last 2D Mortal Kombat game.
And the scores for Mortal Kombat 3, well, the boys liked it. They gave it a gory 4. The girls, a 3. Now, have you noticed all the reviews this week are sequels to popular games? Maybe the game publishers are trying to demonstrate that a good idea will run and run.
Or on the other hand, perhaps the game's publishers are demonstrating that they would rather milk an old idea than take a risk. It's just like in the movies. It's safer to make Jaws 8 than a brand new film.
But one of this week's releases does have a new idea. The net makes the internet the star. The film features Sandra Bullock as Angela Bennett, a techie computer analyst who spends her days ironing out bugs in games or tracking down viruses in programs.
But her life really spices up when a friend sends her a mysterious floppy disk. It allows techies to hack into top-secret, highly sensitive information on computer databases.
So what should we do?
Well, don't think about hitting the escape key on any of your systems for a while. One keystroke will wipe out your whole system.
Her life is turned upside down as she's thrust into a world of cloak and dagger espionage and computer deceit.
Give us the disc, Angela.
You have the wrong person. I don't know what you're talking about.
Angela, we're not offering an option here. Just give us the disc and we'll give you your life back.
I don't understand. I don't have your disc. I don't know what you mean.
Give us the disc, Angela.
And as you might expect nowadays, the film had its own internet site. Find out all you ever wanted to know about the film, the cast and the filmmakers. And you can even download the trailer. The address is http://www.columbiatristar.co.uk/. But now, it's time for our very own movie star, Virtual Violet.
Wayne back! Loads of you, including Wayne Firth from West Yorkshire, have asked us to show more beat-em-ups. All right then, here you go. Tekken!
Toshinden, X-Men from the arcades, and Virtua Fighter 2. Happy? Nigel Dawes from East Sussex owns an old 8-bit console, the Atari 2600, and wants to know why we never show it. Answer 1. Because it's old, boring and stupid, and nobody's interested in it except you. Sorry. Answer 2. We do, and here's a bit more of the classic 2600 version of Breakout. Old computers can move with the times much more easily than old consoles. And John Miller from Ayrshire wants to know if his prehistoric Commodore 64 can be connected to the internet. Well, actually, it's not as funny as it might seem, because you can. You'll need a modem, comm software, a friendly service provider, and loads of enthusiasm. Abigail Cole emailed, although not from a C64, to inquire whether there's a new Mario game coming out on the SNES. Yes, at last there is. It's a huge platformer called Yoshi's Island, but it won't be in the shops until February. Oh, and there's also a Mario RPG in the pipeline. James Zielinski writes, if you take a Mega Drive with the Mega Drive's 32-bit upgrade, the 32X, and add a Mega CD, will you be able to play Saturn games on it? Well, it seems logical, but the answer is no. Although they're all made by Sega, the Saturn is a completely new format. So, Mega Drive plus 32X plus Mega CD equals 32X CD. And you can only play 32X CD games like this one, Slam City. My final letter comes from Anonymous of Acton. Dear Violet, you are so good-looking and clever that I wish that we could see more of you. Well, since you insist, thanks, Mum.
This week's competition prize is the Amiga 1200 with the Magic Pack and a copy of Worms, which we're going to have to send to you because it ain't out yet. And the question is, which computer language was Worms originally programmed in? Was it A, Fortran, B, Basic, or C, Pascal? Phone in your answers on 0891 800 300. That's 0891 800 300. Calls cost no more than 25 pence each. The lines close at midnight on Sunday. And most important of all, make sure you get permission from the person who pays the bill before you dial.
Because you can't win if you don't ask permission, and we always check. Last week's competition prize was this handheld 3D game system, the Virtual Boy, with some games. The question was, what is the fourth dimension? And as 18,500 of you knew, the answer is time. Lee Cox, though, from Dudley in the West Midlands, congratulations, you're our winner. You'll be getting this in the post soon. 10 runners-up will get Bad Influence, Bad Crew t-shirts, and your names are running across the bottom of the screen now. Well done.
We won't be here next Wednesday because there's a week of special programs to celebrate 40 years of children's ITV. So we'll be back in 2 weeks' time.
But you can see us in one of those special programs. Crazy How Bad Attack is on Thursday afternoon at 4:25, so don't miss it. We'll leave you this week with some more gameplay from Worms and look out for a full review in November. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.